Hey colleagues, so today I wanted to talk about 5 easy ways to add language to your lesson. And this could be for your ESL or ELD or ENO class, or it can be for your content teachers. So pass it on. If you're a content teacher, these are really easy ways that you can put the language in, and it'll benefit your English learners as well as your mainstream students. So first I want to tell you about this teacher I was coaching last year. He was following the English curriculum. That's what we do in our ESL classes. And they were pretty good for a first-year teacher, but he was not addressing language at all. So I think the key is to be intentional and explicit with the language. So I tried to give him little easy pieces to implement and not overwhelm. So I think this is a good way not to overwhelm. Try one of these maybe a week, or 2 a week, 2 or a couple weeks, however you want to do it, so you don't feel overwhelmed. So the first one is bell work. That's such an easy way to practice vocabulary, sentence structures, grammar. So and you can use your scaffolds, put in word banks, visuals. So that's one easy way. The second way is juicy sentences. I love juicy sentences. They can be super quick, maybe 10 minutes. And I also have a template that you can use. So basically you give them the sentence, break it down, and then they reconstruct it to form their own meaning, their new meaning. So this juicy sentence shouldn't be just a random sentence from the text. It should be related to the standard that you want them to learn, the sentence structure you want them to learn. It should have some words in there that you really want to focus on. So, and again, I'll share the template that I have for you for that. Accountable talk. So we can look at the word level and the sentence levels on those first two. Accountable talk, we're kind of looking more at discourse here. So the key is to use different domains. So the first two, you might be focusing on reading and writing. This one's focusing on speaking. You really want them to swirl in each lesson. So that's speaking, writing, reading, listening. This will be their speaking. So the keyword is to require the words and the sentence structures you want them to use. You have to be explicit, and you've got to tell them. So I like to use, I put up my sentence stems and say, hey, I want to hear this from you, and I want to hear these words. I'm going to be walking around and listening. It's okay if it's not right? So the next one is quick writes. Quick writes, so we're looking at the writing domain, and it's at the discourse level. So we're talking about different layers of language, right? Word, sentence, discourse. We can talk about that another time. So quick writes, you're really looking at the whole thing, right? We're not just looking at one sentence here. We're looking at the whole thing together. And exit tickets, so easy. So I usually do a 3-2-1, or I might modify it for my beginners, like a 2-1. Like, hey, give me 2 things you learned, 1 thing you still have a question about, or that you don't understand. But the key is you have to explicitly say, you've got to use these words, you've got to use this grammar or this sentence structure. For example, you've got to use one of our academic words we've talked about. You've got to use analyze. You've got to use a tier 2 word, even though. Yep, you got to use it. And you've got to use a semicolon or a comma conjunction. So again, the key is get them trying it. It's okay if it's not right. It is okay. And if it is right, fabulous. You did a good job. So let's recap. We've got the 5 ways are bell work, juicy sentences, accountable talk, quick write, exit ticket. And also the key is be explicit. Tell them the language you want to use. use and focus on the 4 domains. Easy peasy. Share with a fellow teacher. Comment or let me know what other easy peasy ways do you have just to add it in real quick. Make sure you're getting that language piece in. Hope you're having a great day, and I will again share that template with you too.